Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter, and I will be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. So if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying, courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching this on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, as I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. By the way, you only can make comments or questions during a live stream. So like I said, every Monday and Friday, I host these YouTube live streams starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building and at John's Garage on Saturdays and Sundays and contest coverage that Sparky does informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell and select all so that whether myself or Sparky comes on, you'll be notified. Share the videos, comments, all these activities, thumbs up, all that stuff helps the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships. Right below, hit the join button. And you can start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And you're getting incredible experience from Sparky, John Jordan. I mean, together, that's probably 80 or so, even more years experience. And plus all the guests I have on the show, all their expertise. I mean, it's a great value. Everybody should sign up if you ask me. And by the way, I'm a member myself, so I had the $4.99 come out of my account. Now, you can also use the super chat, which is located over here, and you can donate any amount you like doing that. And that's another way to show us some love and support. Now, your support helps offset some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you'll get special badges that Sparky and I can see in the YouTube chat box, unlimited replay of member-only videos, and once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. This is Sparky's YouTube channel, Stunthangar on YouTube. So I'm only in here twice a week. And so if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel at Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. All the letters are there. And when you get there, go to the video titled 2019 AMA National Championship video. That's the video that Sparky shot of me flying his beautiful June R in my first official flight at the U.S. Nationals. That was an awesome bucket list moment for me. And if you go there and comment or ask a question, I'll be notified, because that is my channel. Unlike this channel, I don't get notified of any comments or questions outside of the live stream. So do that and I'll be notified and I'll be able to respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link now at the Stunthangar forum. So let me reach over here. I'm watching, I have 3 monitors, and that's how I keep up with everything. And I'm going to go to what I call the control panel. Let's see here. Where is that at? And see what's going on. See how the show is streaming. Hopefully it's streaming. Hope I did everything all right. And hopefully you had a good weekend. I went to the flying field today, but didn't get any flying done. Kind of got there kind of late, and by the time I got there, the wind was coming up, and so I didn't get a chance to fly today. It's been a busy week, so when I went there, I wasn't even prepared. I needed some things to get the prop off of its nose ring. It's a different plane I took out today. It's a white Strega built by Reuben McBride, Stephen McBride's dad. If you're familiar with the McBrides, they host the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge. So it looks like we're streaming. There's 10 concurrent viewers, 3 likes. So the 7 of you, or actually it's 12 concurrent now, the 9 of you that have not hit the like button, please do that. That helps the analytics of the program. And it looks like no one's in the chat at this moment. So hopefully we'll get some people in the chat box. So if you guys that are concurrent viewers, 14, if you are logged in, or when you came into YouTube, if you're logged in, you can go into the chat box and actually ask us questions. And I go to great lengths to include your questions and comments to be part of the dialogue that I have with my illustrious panel. And I see Dennis Adamison, he says, like delivered. I'll join you in a bit. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate that. So anyway, so all of you out there, if you have any questions or comments, please ask away. There's Dennis is in there, but I think he's going to duck out and get ready to come into the show. And speaking of coming into the show, you have to be a member of Stunthangar Forum to find the link to be part of the show. So if you're not a member, register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. And when you do that, you might have to allow for a couple days for Sparky to check you out. Make sure you're not a troll, and then he'll probably will approve you. And if you have problems doing that, getting logged in or what have you, let me know. I've been successful in helping other people get in here. You know, sometimes it's just a little bit of an adjustment, and next thing you know, it works seamless. But the first time it could be a little bit awkward, or it's not really that intuitive for some people to see how to get in here. So I'd like to help you get in. So please don't hesitate, and don't feel you have to be an expert or have a lot of experience. I know some people think that they really wouldn't have anything of great value to share, and your presence alone would help. And then your experience. We all have unique experiences. Some of us have some questions that they need help with, and this would be a great place to get a consensus of a lot of people. Hey, Howard, how are you this evening?
Lovely.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Good to be here.
Awesome. That's great. So I see part of your plane behind you.
Oh yeah, there's plane. Let's see. Here's the.
Well, that is pretty, Howard. That is so pretty.
There's a wing.
Yeah, I really like that. Looks great.
Thank you. It's annoying when you get looking at it.
I don't know about that. Maybe because you've had so many hours looking at it compared to everybody else. and you might have some remembrances of.
No, you see the remembrances of what?
Of paint lifting on that particular square or item.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yes.
And hold, let me show you the.
Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, Jive Combat Team. There we go. I like that. Oh, man. I love that. That looks good. Very good.
Thank you, thank you.
Let me say hello to Brendan and Angstrom. How you guys doing?
Hey, all right. Good evening. How you doing?
Doing well. Thanks for coming in, you guys. Appreciate it.
Hey guys.
We I reached out to Dennis, and he's gonna show some electrical setups tonight. We're putting together the electric conversion kit that he built for Brodax. And
Right.
telling him I kind of had some confusion maybe on how to jam everything in there and get all the components in. So I think he's going to show up with some of his finished models and kind of just give some pointers on how maybe to fit things in.
Oh, that'd be good, because I'm sure there are other people might have some questions. I know we have a person that comes in here. I'm not going to name any names, but he built his backwards. He should have had the lettering on the outside, but that wasn't, so it could, if it happened to him, who has a lot of experience, it could happen to anybody.
Yeah. So we're interested to see what he has. I know that most of what we've done is just slap batteries and stuff on the side of profiles. So that now that we're kind of building it up a little bit,
Very good. Let me say hello to Mark. Mark Wise, thanks for coming in.
Hey, Charles. Good to see you.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you, buddy.
Good, good. And then Tom Creasy, thank you for coming in. I appreciate that.
How you doing?
Doing well, buddy. And we have Jack Snavely in the chat box, and he's saying, I'm sure we meant to say hello all and all around the world. Thank you, Jack. And so we have currently 17 concurrent viewers. We have 9 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please smash that, push that, hit that, whatever you got to do. And 0 chat revenue at the moment and 0 new members at the moment. But the night is still young, so please consider joining Sparky's YouTube channel called Stunthangar. That will help offset just some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And hey, John Miller, thank you for coming in. And Tom Rammel, thank you for coming in, you guys.
Charles, hi guys.
Hey.
Hey, John, we got something to show off to you.
Oh, good. Let me make you big, Brendan, just a second. Spotlight for everyone. Ooh, look at that. Wow. That looks
So,
All right.
John, you mentioned to us trying monocoat hinges.
Uh-huh.
And we did it. So that's our first go at it. And I don't know, it took pretty well. So
wow. That looks great.
Good.
yeah, we had thought about kind of showing it one night or kind of walking through it a little bit, but we'd never experimented. So we took care of this, but maybe when we do the main wing and put the flaps on, maybe we'll show a little bit of that as we do it.
Yeah.
Very good.
They're pretty smooth, aren't they?
What's that?
I say they're pretty smooth, aren't they?
Yeah, show how smooth they are. Flip it. Flap it around. Flap it. Just let it go.
Very nice.
Yeah, there's no real hesitancy or problems going to be with the controls.
Yeah.
That
No,
looks good.
yeah. I mean, I've done the CA hinges in the past, and yeah, that glue kind of makes it stick a little bit. So, these are nice and floppy. Now, there's a little bit of, I don't know, it's got a little noise to it, as you can kind of hear from it. But
Yeah,
it's what it needs to do.
you're not going to hear it from 60 feet away.
No, definitely not.
Very good job.
Good job. I see Mark there. Hi, Mark.
Hey, how are you?
Doing well. You look comfy.
I am. I have my my partner here.
All
Oh,
right.
You got one of those. You're getting a CAT scan, aren't you?
Getting the CAT scan. That's very good.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
Gary Sinclair's in the house. Thank you, Gary.
All right.
Hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary.
Hello,
Yeah.
guys.
Creasy there. Howard's phone is there.
Hey, in the new May magazine, they got a thing on art of trimming an airplane. It's a radio controlled airplane, but I just thought might work for the control line too. It shows a plane upside down. So
Yeah.
May of
Anyway,
which article is this, Gary?
it's on the art of trimming. It's on page 72 of the May magazine.
Model
the what?
aviation.
Yeah, model aviation.
Model aviation. Okay.
I just saw it there and then I thought I'd copy it down here and see what
Yeah.
might be something.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Might be. Have to check it out.
I was going to call you earlier today, Charles, just to wear your ear out.
Oh, that would have been great. That would
I
have been
thought
great.
you might be busy, so I didn't.
Always, but you know what? I take phone calls. I definitely would talk to you. So that'd be great. Absolutely.
Well, I
So-
might give you a call one of these afternoons just to talk at you.
All righty. Has anybody done any flying or building?
Oh, I did something. Let me go get it.
Did something. All right. All right. Well, I started turning.
Yeah,
my
you want to
attention-
hear something?
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
You want to hear what a bad weekend is in building?
I'm sure we know what that's like. I'm sure about that.
I went to I'm at the stage where I've already got all of my coats on my new airplane done, and I'm
Hang on,
doing my
John.
final sanding. I'm doing my final sanding for color, right? And I go put some fillets on, and I notice that the gap in between my fuselage and the end of my flap on both sides,
Yes.
you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Well, one gap on one side was 0.4 tenths, and the other side was 0.812. So somehow when I jigged up my fuselage and my wing to square it off and get 0 degree, I was at 0 degree, but I was off almost 3/8 of an inch
Oh boy.
on the aft part of the fuselage, you know, the trailing edge of the wing. So if you got your wing completely all glued in permanently, how are you going to undo that without messing anything up? So you can unglue that wing and get that squared to the fuselage.
Nitro will is a debonder for CA.
I tell you something, I created a blade and fitted it on my tool, and this thing did it precision to where
Excellent.
all I had to do was just a little bit of sanding to just get off the rough edges, and I could reposition my wing. So I thought I
Let me
would
see the
share this
tool.
tonight.
Oh, good.
Yeah, let me see-
This right
let me see
here,
that tool.
Is that a
Oh yeah,
sawzall?
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is an oscillating tool.
Yes,
Yep.
those were
And
excellent.
boy, I tell you what, that went right in there and it just followed the curve.
I bet.
It
Yeah.
cut it sweet.
Yes.
Plus, you know, I got variable speed, so I put it on low variable. So it's already done deal.
Cool.
Wow.
It's back in the paint booth.
What's the,
That's
show us the blade.
What a deal. Well, guess what that did? That I had to take the elevator off again. The first time I put the elevator on, I put it upside down.
okay.
Now, this time, you know, it was crooked with the wing too. So I had to take it off again and rebuild the tail feathers. Anyway, everything's right with the world.
Howard wanted to
job.
see that blade again.
Hey, Howard wanted to see the blade on your oscillating tool,
Yeah.
and you have modified it. Is that right?
Yeah. See how wide it is?
Yeah.
I cut this section off right here.
So where'd you have to cut it?
So this right here is just a little over a ½ inch because I got to, because if you go over a curve, over the top of the wing, you don't want to cut into that 1/16 sheeting,
Right.
And I mean, this just made the most beautiful cut. It just cut that glue like in epoxy. I used tight bond, and actually, to tell you the truth, I don't know if I'll use that again because I used my my CA, and it had a better bonding than it did with the tight bond.
Really?
But of course,
Hey, Tom,
the tight bond hadn't been in there very long, really, maybe 3 or 4 days.
I think.
Tom, can I ask
But,
you a question?
man, yeah.
Tom, I was wondering, is that tool smooth enough that you could use it to cut hinge slots?
Oh, most certainly. Most certainly.
I like that.
And if not, all you'd have this blade here, the kerf thickness,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's the only thing I had to put inside on my when I remated my wing again. I had a
Right.
gap all the way around because of the thickness of this blade, and it was
Right.
about a 1/16 of an inch.
Oh, that sounds
If you
good.
ever wanted to, you could actually grind this down and make it thinner
Right.
if you wanted.
Okay.
But
like
I tell you, this is like, I use this in construction. It's my second one. The first one I have is you got to use an Allen wrench. You'd lose it. It's a piece of crap. But this one here, you loosen this up right here,
Oh, I see.
Yep.
and then your blade comes off where you don't have to have no tool.
Yep.
Right.
And also get the variable speed, because you don't
Yep.
need all that power. It just vibrates too much. You put it on low speed for balsa wood. Same deal with the elevator. I made a smooth precision cut to unglue that elevator so I could move it and position it straight again. I
That's
tell
a
you,
good tip.
this is a good idea there. But you know how sick I was when I found
Yeah,
out
I have
that
cut
that
off
wing was
fuselage
off.
myself with that.
I mean, it didn't
Yes.
damage the fuselage. It didn't damage the wing, and I was like, man, it just made me sick when that was all glued in there.
Yeah, I know. That is a sick feeling.
And I was like, actually what it did was I put yaw into the fuselage.
Mm-hmm.
So the back end of the fuselage, the aft end of it, was on the starboard side, which is the right side.
Yep.
In the back, which means what? I'd be turning left, wouldn't I? The yaw would, from the front of the motor, wouldn't that come in? Because the bell crank is on the wing. So your lines and the weight and everything would be straight, but your fuselage would be yawed to the left.
Yeah.
3/8 of an inch, wouldn't that plane really fly bad?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I would think so.
I got it.
Man. Well, I'm so I'm so happy that it come together, because I was just like, I might as well junk it,
Yeah, I
And
know.
I happened to go to town yesterday, and while I was driving down the highway, it hit me just like a bright light coming on.
Right.
I couldn't wait to get back home.
Yes, I
In
understand.
fact, I didn't even do my chores because I couldn't get this out of my mind. I had to go downstairs and I had to cut this wing out. Had it done in like 15 minutes. Easy
Cool.
peasy.
Very
Yeah.
good.
So everything's right in my world, but
That's good.
I've I've had some issues. I don't know if it was my jigging. I don't know how I got that off, but I'm usually really precise and paying attention, but somehow that got by me. Boy.
Yeah, it's no fun. Yeah, well, when I was
No, it
building
isn't.
that precious balsa, when I was putting the engine crutch in between the fuselage sides, I wanted to put some down thrust in it, so I pushed the crutch down about 1 degree, and I'm really excited about my glue up. And the next morning, I go and take it off the table, realize I didn't put down incidents, I put up incidents in it.
Oh, no.
Do you remember that, John? Remember that?
Whoa.
Yeah.
A year or so ago. Yeah. So it happens to all of us. It just appears right. But
I
then when you
mean,
finally take it off, it's wrong.
My first build up fuselage that I did, I was upside down putting the engine in, and I put the thrust the wrong way. I was upside down and put the engine right thrust in it.
Yeah.
And I turned it back over, and I'm like, the engine's heading into me. And I'm like, oh my God.
I know. I understand that.
You
Hey,
usually
Lynn,
only
thanks for
make
coming
that
in, Lynn.
mistake once.
Hey, guys.
So you usually only make that mistake once.
Yeah, unless you forget the first time.
Oh, yeah. Some of us have been known to do that. Hi, Lynn.
Hey, how's it going?
All right.
Yeah.
So here's what I did today.
Okay, let me make you big. Is this a Pathfinder by chance?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Very
Delta
cool.
Dart.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
that.
I've been putting off. I've got all these Cub Scouts. I've got to finish this one so I can take them and let them see it fly.
All right.
And so I've been busy and everything's covered me up. But today I bit the bullet, and I'll tell you what, with my hands the way they are, this was hard to do. I had more problems getting things on there and glued where they had to be. But hey, if I can do it, I know anybody can do it.
Ah,
Thanks,
So
There
that's
Jeff.
it is, a Delta.
It looks really good.
It looks like it's going to be okay. I've got a little more gluing I need to do. I just took it off the form. But
Have you test flighted it yet?
not yet. I just took it off. I had it upside down, getting the dihedral in there, and I just took it off to show it. It's dry now, but tomorrow I'll put the rubber band motor on, get out there and start trimming it.
so I have a question, John. How'd you get the color scheme and the colors? Is that dye or what?
No,
is it?
that's printed on the plan.
Oh,
see,
very neat.
You
All
build
right.
this.
What is it?
You build this with a plan upside down. And so I put white paper under it. I had it on a piece of cardboard, put white paper under it so I could see the plan from the backside. And then you just lay the wood strips. You see where they're shown. And you just lay them on there, glue them on. I used a what they call glue stick.
Yeah.
And and a little bit of CA and a little bit of white glue and in specific areas. And now, like I say, it took me all day with my hands messed up the way they are. Probably take one of you guys maybe 30 minutes. But what the heck, it means
What the
a lot.
hey? What
All
the
in good fun.
That's
Yeah.
good. Well, congratulations. You built something for
Oh,
proof. You built something.
and
Now I
I
got to
went
build
down-
something.
I went down in the basement thinking I might have one of these already built down there. And got looking in some boxes, and guess what I found?
What'd you find?
Remember I told you I had a big box of engines that I couldn't find?
Oh, that's fantastic.
I mean, this box is like that big, maybe 2.5 feet wide or long,
Wow.
and about maybe 18 inches deep and about 12 to 14 inches deep. And well, anyway, it's a big box, and that sucker is full to the brim with engines. I'm going to have so much fun with that.
Oh, I bet.
A lot of old
Don't
friends
forget
in
to
there.
put in your note in there if upon your demise that the stalkers should go to Charles. Remember?
Hey, yeah.
I think the only guy in this
Hey,
country that has
have
more
any
stuff-
ignition? You got any ignition motors?
no ignitions. I do have diesels though.
Very good.
What was I gonna say?
You know, one of these days, we're all supposed to build one of those planes like John just built
Yeah,
right on the video chat.
yeah. It's oh shoot.
Waiting.
Very good.
I'm ready to go. I keep waiting.
Very good, Lynn.
Let's see, how many years has it been?
It's been a couple or three anyway.
Hey, Dennis, thanks for coming in. You guys, let me catch up with the chat real quick.
Go for it.
Dennis H says, like delivered. Hi, guys. And then James Von Holt, he says, hi, Charles. And an emoji of an applause. Thank you very much. James, I know that Bob Hunt has been expecting you to come in a number of times. So I'm glad to see you in the chat box. And if you have any questions on how to come in here, go ahead and ask away because you're probably not alone. So, and that goes for anybody, Jack Snavely as well, and Dennis H. Anybody who wants to come on in, there's room. We have, right now we have 10, and so there's still plenty of room.
I was gonna say something about the Stalker engines, Charles.
All righty.
Probably the only guy that might have more of than me would be
Tom Dixon.
Tom Dixon. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Dixon, yeah.
We cleaned him out this week.
Did you?
In the last 2 weeks, our club has bought, or in the last month, I'd say our club's bought about 6-7 engines off him.
Oh, that's great.
Good.
Oh, yeah,
Getting
so
good engines out
everybody,
there.
he has none left. He has nothing right now.
Oh, so
none for
right now
sale.
I've got more than him. Okay.
Yeah, so he hasn't got any for sale.
Yeah.
I mean, he has stalkers, but they're, I guess, all his own, you know.
Yeah. Well, I've got 4 or 5 Stalker 40s.
Wow.
and 3
I just bought one. How do they run?
They run great. Just
Okay.
realize that they're not a Schnurley,
Okay,
you know.
that's
but
right.
They run great. I fly a 610 square inch All-American Eagle
Okay,
on a Stalker 40. Rear exhaust, looks good in the air. I've got three or four Stalker 51s.
Yeah.
And only one 60, a 66, and 2 or 3 81s. So
wow. Yeah, you've got your share.
I'm stocked up.
You're stocked up on stalkers. You betcha.
Nobody's heard anything from Ruslan. I'm worried about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not good.
Well, consider that, getting in touch with his airplane buddies in USA is probably not in his top 1,000 right
Yeah,
now.
it's not on his
Yeah.
high, no, not high on the priority list.
That's
Yes,
it.
I understand that, but I'm still worried about him.
Indeed, be worried. He sounded like he was right in the middle of it, but I don't know. It's all we can do is watch and hope
Yeah.
and pray.
Yeah.
So
For sure.
How you doing, Dennis?
oh, fair to middling, I guess. I've been working on something. Jan at Brodak asked me to take on a job here. She wanted me to rewrite and edit all of the conversion manuals that I've
Oh,
ever written.
Oh, my God.
That's 42 of them.
oh, oh,
It was like, take out this
Nice.
information and add that information. And in the meantime, after, doing all of that, it's like, well, since you got it open already, you may as well update it and do all it, make the early manuals look like the later manuals and stuff like that. So
that's a lot of work.
I got, 40 of them? No, 39 of them done, three
Wow.
left. So,
Oh, you've been busy.
Wow. How long did it take you to do that?
I've been working on it basically this week. It's not, the changes are anywhere from like 15 minutes to 3 hours on it, on the manual. The later manuals didn't require much.
Oh,
Is
my
that,
The
is
goodness.
that
earlier ones
typing
required a
everything
bunch.
out on the computer? Or is that
Well,
just
just
writing with a
editing.
pen?
No, with a pen, are you kidding? So I don't do that. No, it was writing, it was just editing the file and,
Oh,
just editing the file and then, reformatting a lot of it. Some of it I wrote in Microsoft Word version, 97,
Yeah.
and had to update it to current version of Word and, so that was like a first step. And then, it's just, nitpicky things. It's like, nothing difficult about it. It was just, oh, shucks, get down to work,
Yeah, yeah.
But it
Hey,
means I
Dennis?
haven't been doing much anything else. Yes, sir.
Dennis, it's Mark.
Yeah.
Last Friday, I was up at Buzz's backyard, making sure that all the circles would fit after she put in the fence behind her house.
Oh,
So, yeah. So I'll just have to let the advanced guys know they better be good at wingovers. There's only room for about a half a circle.
ah,
Oh, no.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, it worked out great. We marked out the centers. It was great seeing everyone. Of course, I spent some money in the hobby shop. And, a couple of months we'll all be up there, those who are able to get to Brodeck.
Woohoo.
yeah, that's it. That's exciting. That's really exciting. I understand Buzz was really sick at the end of last week, but they found what ailed her and they got her fixed up. So
Awesome.
she,
Apparently, as soon as I left, she felt better.
well, I wasn't going to put it that way, but yeah.
Hey,
But,
Mark, is-
apparently she went in the hospital. They thought she had pneumonia and they kept checking her for this bug and that bug and nothing was checked. They finally found out she apparently got Legionnaire's disease somehow,
Yeah.
which is still
Oh.
super scarce. And, it doesn't happen, but,
No,
there was a,
She's doing well.
and after that, they were able to, they knew what they were fighting. They gave her a couple of antibiotics and that was that. So
Yep.
Outstanding.
That's
all good
awesome.
news.
Good for her.
hey, Mark,
Yeah.
is there any talk about whether or not they're looking at additional years, or is that even something you can share?
Well, yeah, I think so. Last fall when I went up to look at the alternative site, the Greene County Airport, and I came back and met with Sandy and Buzz and said, look, maybe a local club would be happy there, but you can't run Brodeck there. You just can't. It's not going to work. And then Buzz said, well, let's do it here. I think that's the best thing. That's what John looked like. And she and Sandy both said, this is not necessarily a one and done, that both of them would like it to continue.
That's
That's
phenomenal.
So, I would imagine it's going to continue as long as Buzz is healthy enough and living in that house. That would be my gut.
Oh, that's
Okay.
great. And
I
I have
have
a
a-
comment from someone in the chat box. Tom Luciano. He says, "Hi, gentlemen. Hope all is well. Rustlin posted on Facebook a week ago."
Did he?
Oh, okay.
That's good.
All right.
That's cool.
What, and he posted it on Stunthangar about 3 weeks ago, was it?
I think so, yeah. Oh, it was more than that.
It's what, more than that? Okay.
Denny,
I
I
don't-
got a question for you about Brodeck's store there and the build and the manufacturing. Are they going to continue increasing the line of kits, or are they going to hold steady for a while?
Are they going to keep doing what again, John? I'm sorry.
Are they going to keep producing new kits, or are they going to hold steady for a while?
I don't know. My guess
You
is
mean-
that they're gonna keep bringing out a few here and there and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think they brought out the Mobest and they had at least a good initial pop on it. And I think as long as they can bring out a kit and the marketplace says it's worthwhile, they'll probably bring out some more.
Well, okay, that, I'm gonna talk to Gordon. I'm updating the plans to his newest version of the Twin. It still
Oh.
uses the same wing that Rodak sells. So I'm gonna call Jan and talk to her about it. I gotta talk to Gordon though and make sure it's okay with him before.
Yeah, yeah. I would imagine, like the Pathfinder to me was about as mainstream as you can get. It has a real broad appeal, a profile with high performance capability and everything like that. Good for gas, good for electric and everything like that. I think the only trouble with a Twin is that it's going to appeal to maybe 10% of the people who fly and about 5% will actually build it. So
That's,
I don't know.
That's possible. I don't know.
I would, if you're going to bring out the Twin, frankly, I would bring it out electric. I wouldn't even think about a gas
absolutely.
version.
Absolutely.
Only because number one, you can't buy any decent engines anymore. And number two, it's just too much trouble. Electric Twin is almost cheating.
I agree with you. I just, I thought they might want to add it as a companion to the Pathfinder, being the Twin version. Because the only things that differ is well, of course, the main fuselage and the two nacelles. Everything else is pretty much the same.
Well, I think you mentioned there was a slightly smaller Pathfinder. If I would think one around in the low 500 square inch range would be a real appeal, because that would, you could fly it with some of the old engines and stuff like that without giving them a hernia. There was something in the 500 to 540 square range or something like that. But again, keep all the good Pathfinder things, the simplicity and the good performance.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
Really
that's
good idea.
the Brazilian Pathfinder.
It might actually be a lot more like you mentioned Gordy's. One of the original ones is built off a Challenger combat wing. It might end up being that airplane or something very much like that.
Well, actually, yeah, because he took the Challenger combat wing and had him extend it, but then he shortened it again when it went into production at Brodak because he didn't want to have that much wing, and he wanted to go to the C2. But I'll talk with him, see if he wants it. And then before I talk to Jan, I'll give her.
Besides, another Pathfinder or two out there is going to keep your royalty checks coming. So,
well,
hey, John and John and Dennis, I can update you on a couple of things.
Yeah, go
for anyone who's interested. One is Rodak is doing very well right now, and they have been since COVID. I mean, that shop is shipping out a tremendous amount of materials, kits to other people, and I'm thrilled for them. Second, when I was up there, they were cutting kits. It's not like they're slowing down. Third, and this is just an idea from me of what you guys were saying, John, maybe an idea would be to see if they would sell the plan so someone could build the Twin. And if there's any bite, maybe Dennis, who's a smart guy, could do the conversion kit.
Well, yeah, he does a pretty good job on conversion. And you could probably get by with like a 2310 or 15 or 2810 pair of those.
That'd be great. And finally, Tommy, who's such an important part of the Brodak team, after I had a couple of meetings, he said, you got to come in and see the museum. And I'd seen it probably half done. And I got to tell you, I was blown away by it. Absolutely blown away by what they've done. It's completely done. It's clean. It flows well. It's as good as you're going to find anywhere. And I just hope people can find a way to get to Carmichael's and tour through that thing. You could spend a day in there easily.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Easily, and it's just beautifully done. I wish John would have been around to see it.
Wow, that's yeah. I hope to see it. Last time I was there, it wasn't finished, so I hope to get back there and see the museum.
It's spectacular.
I bet I can't
That's
imagine
awesome.
anything less than that.
Well, you
Yeah,
had a
let
lot
me-
of
let me
material
interrupt.
there, so.
Let me interrupt for a second. We have Jim Bornhold is trying to get in, and I'm going to
Oh.
try to do a screen share, Jim, to show you how to get in. Of course, you have to be logged into Stunthangar for anything to show up that you need. Now, let me see if I can. My first time trying this on air. So let's see here. Screen. Okay. All right. So what do you guys see in the share screen? Do you guys see the Stunthangar there?
Yeah.
Top of the screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jim, if you go to Stunthangar, the forum, not the YouTube channel, but the forum, stunthangar.com, you should see a banner. The banner changes. Right now it's RSM distribution. And you scroll down. I'm going to scroll down. And you want to go down till you see a link or thread, or I'm not sure what it's called, but it's called At the Bench. It's below In Memory of Our Friends. So you go to Stunthangar for this thing called At the Bench to appear. If you're not logged in, or if you're not a member of Stunthangar, this At the Bench will not appear. Now, assuming that that's appearing, maybe it's because I'm sharing. But anyways, you click on At the Bench, and then you'll see a number of threads there that I've posted every week. And you want the most current date, which should be Friday. Oh, here we go.
There it is.
So now you see this list of these links here, Jim. The top one you can click on is the Stunthangar Video Hangout Friday, 04/15/2022. You click on that, and you click on that. And then you'll see inside this thread, is that appearing, you guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you see where it says join Zoom meeting. There's a link right there, and you click on that. And after you click on that, usually you have to allow for your camera and your microphone just the first time. Once you allow it, then you don't need to worry about it next time you come in. You do that, click on that, and you should come right in here. If you have any questions, Jim, let me know in the chat box. I'm going to stop the screen. And hopefully, did I cover everything, you guys? I hope I
You
did.
did.
I
Okay.
think so.
So let
You
me
might have some questions when after he clicks that last screen you had, because you come, on mine, I come in, I have to go in and there's a red box there that has some writing. You got to click on that before it'll take you over. And then you got to wait, because you're allowing the screen, the streaming or whatever to occur. And you got to wait for that. And you might wait a minute, minute and a half while it gets everything lined up, and then it'll come up and bring you in.
Right. So, and sometimes they get to install I think the Zoom client if you don't have it already installed. So
True.
once you get through here the first time, then it just be click, 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 and you're in next time.
Yeah, even
That's
I can
how,
do it. Even the Canadian can do it.
And there's a comment by
Hey,
Dennis B here in the chat. I need to correct. Dennis B says, Charles, I didn't know you've been flying for 40 years. No, not quite 40 years. I'm a retread. I did it when I was young, a kid, and then life and everything got involved, and I did other things, cars and dirt bikes, and did I mention girls? Yeah, and girls. And then I finally came back to the hobby. Just a coincidence. I was going in for surgery, and my cousins, they came to see me, and they brought out a chipmunk and a twister, and let me fly the twister. And it had been like 30 years since I had flown, I think, at least maybe 25 to 30. And I'm not kidding. When the plane rolled out, before it got off the ground, I was hooked. I was hooked. I mean, I was like, I could not believe that I let this go. Because there's nothing like having a plane on the end of the handle.
Yep.
There is no feeling. There's no feeling like that. I don't mean, I'm not really into RC. I've tried RC. I really haven't given RC a fair shot. I mean, to be really candid, I really have not given RC a chance. But to me, and this is my own personal opinion, there's this no comparison to feeling an airplane. And not to mention, if you're proud of your craftsmanship, proud of your handiwork, it's like 60 feet away. You can see it in all its glory. It's an awesome thing. So I got back into it, and I located a club in my local area, and I met some really nice people, and I brought out all my antiquated stuff, and they told me, no, not that, no, and definitely not that. And they got me squared away, and I've been flying now for another 20 on top of when I was a youth. So I think it's about more like 25 years of flying.
Can you guys all remember when the first time was you flew a control line model?
Yeah.
The very first time. Do you remember when?
I remember
1954.
Okay.
I was flying a Cox PT-19, and I remember that thing still flew like, worst flying airplane. The worst.
John's coming up on 70 years in 2 years from now. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
But
mine was 1976.
In mine, like Charles, I discovered, I first went in the Navy in 62. So I stopped flying, got out in 64, but I discovered a wild young woman that kind of caught my fancy. And so I didn't do anything. I mean, I drew some plans, but I didn't build anything. And then I think that was 64. And in 1981 was my return to the hobby. So there was about 12, 14, 16 years that yeah.
Anybody else got a date?
I do.
When?
1974.
Okay.
I was 7 years old.
Wow.
Cox PT-19.
Yeah.
With Dad up at the RC field. Dennis, you know where, Detroit Air Modelers up top, because we flew RC all the time, but we took the PT-19 out there. Dad taught me how to launch it. So I would throw it and he would fly, and then I would go out to the circle with him and put my hand out, on the handle with his over mine. And we did that a few times till I, figured it out. And then he's like, okay, now you go out there, I'm going to launch it. And of course I crashed and then stalled it and crashed. But after 4 or 5 of those, we got a good launch. And you guys are going to think I'm blowing.
You needed a rubber band.
Right. You're going to think I'm blowing smoke up your patooties, but this is a true story. It was getting near dusk. This is our first day of flying this thing, my first day of flying. 7 years old. Finally got, where I could fly flat and level. It was getting near dusk, and Dad launched me, and I was flying it. I made it about 3 laps, and this damn chicken hawk flew in and flew right into the front end of the airplane, attacked the airplane,
wow.
hit the airplane, feathers went everywhere. The wing came off the airplane. The plane crashed, and that bird went off flying, going blah, 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 flying across Lee's Park. But the bird, I mean, I don't know what kind of bird it was. I'm sure it was some kind of hawk. My dad said it was a chicken hawk. I don't even know what that means. But that bird dove in on the airplane and hit that prop and then flew off. That is an absolute true story. And I was standing there slack-jawed, flabbergasted, looking at my dad going, "What just happened, Dad? Did I just kill a bird?" And he's like, "No, the bird thought it was prey and went in to attack it, and he got that prop, didn't he?" And I was like, "I guess so." But that is
Mike, I
clear as a bell in my head. Clear as a bell.
Remember we used to fly down in the valley, about a quarter mile away from where you were.
Mm-hmm.
And they had nighthawks. We called them nighthawks. They might have been the same bird. They're kind of a dark gray with white stripes across their wings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure they were all over. They had to be up on the hill too. But yeah, those guys were. They come about dusk. They were just all over you. So.
Wow.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah.
Is that why you got into combat?
Maybe, man. I don't know. Maybe, but I heard Len asking when I came in about first time you flew, and he mentioned the PT-19. That memory to me is just as vivid and as crystal clear as the day it happened, because that's the first time.
Yeah, exactly.
Flew a control line airplane with my pop out there, and I mean, yeah, that was an awesome day, man. It really was.
It wasn't on. I bet it was. Yeah.
I wish my old man was still around to see that I'm still participating in model aviation, and that his grandson is he's got the fever too. And I think Dad would be pretty happy to see that we're still doing this stuff. Because I lost him when I was 18. Right after I graduated high school, I lost my dad. So. But and speaking of flying, Sam and I went out and tore up a bunch of stuff today. We had some good weather today, so
great.
We went out and flew. We took some beater combat planes out, and my neighbor Chris came with me, and he flew his what is that? A Jameson All-American? What is that thing, Sam? A Jameson. Chris put up flights like 9 and 10 in his career. And he's doing wing overs. He was doing consecutive loops with it. So
he's getting there.
My student is getting there, and he launched for me and Sam so we could fly some matches. And we only left one airplane in the trash can at the field today, so it was a good day.
That's great.
That's awesome.
That's great. Awesome. I have a comment from someone in the chat box on the same subject. He says, "I remember," this is Dennis H. He says, "I remember the first plane I built and flew was a Sterling Mr. Mulligan in about 1978 to 80 or thereabouts, a McCoy 35 as well."
All right.
Cool. The plane that I learned to fly on, I've never seen another one. It was put out by K&B.
Getting better.
All aluminum Delta wing. It had a Win-Mac engine on the front, half A.
Wow.
And we flew it in the cul-de-sac. That's where we lived. He and I we'd never flown one before. He had this airplane, and I had a Cox TD4 that I didn't want to fly because it looked like if I crashed it, it'd just go into pieces. But his aluminum wing, like I say, it's a Delta wing. It had a vertical tail on it. But the elevator went from wingtip to wing. Never seen another one of those planes, but I want to tell you, that sucker was indestructible. We didn't have anybody to teach us. We had to learn it on our own. And so the first 20 flights, he had 10 props, and his mom had to go to the hobby store and buy some more props, because we went through all those props like each time we tried. But we finally got to the point where we realized we didn't have to hold full up once it was airborne.
Right.
And we got rid of the figure 9. And, I've heard a lot of people say those Win-Mac engines weren't worth a diddly. Well, I'll tell you what, they'd take that crash, and that aluminum Delta wing would take that crash, and you just kind of pop the dent out, and put, put new fuel and a new prop on it, and away you go.
Yeah.
Yep. What about you, Mark?
Well, I grew up in Queens, New York, and I was not within a reasonable distance of a safe flying field.
Okay.
So I built a scientific, I think it was called a little Stuntman or something like that.
Okay.
And I got a baby
Stuntman, I had one of them.
There you go, with a baby B 049 and Dacron lines.
Yep.
And I was the only one interested in this, but two of my friends helped me. So we did it at the intersection of my street with a wider avenue. So it took three. It took me in the handle. It took someone to launch the plane. And my third friend, Michael, was the caller. And his job was to tell me when a car or a truck were coming. Because, you know, I didn't have throttle. So this was high pressure. I took off, and after about 3 laps, he says, car. So I go up maybe 10 feet. I'm trying to fly higher than the car antennas. And then this truck comes, and it's slow. And I'm like doing the pattern before George even came up with it. And I just can't wait for this truck to get out of there. Man, I said, this is hard. You know, I didn't want to go to a contest. There are cars and trucks going by. But I'll tell you what, I'll never forget it. And the good thing was, I remember the plane had probably 1-inch tires. And I just knew the only place it would take off was from a hard surface.
Yep.
So that was the best thing about it, but it was treacherous. You know? Car, truck, uh-oh.
It's like flying on I-79.
Yeah. You know, it was crazy, but it's such a good memory. And, you know, like you guys say, you don't forget that.
Yeah.
Nope, not a bit.
Nope.
I have a story like that. One time, Paul Walker and I were out flying the B-17, and we flew it at this airport that was closed on weekends. And we flew on the runway at the end of the runway. And somebody in a Cessna didn't get the message that the runway was closed on the weekend.
Oh.
So Paul was flying and I was out there waving at the guy. And eventually he did a go around. And
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That's a great story.
Yeah, the only other waiting for traffic or watching traffic we did was with geese when we flew near a pond.
Oh.
And perhaps the same day, this guy drove up and he says, "Oh, it's a model." And he said, "I was driving by and I saw this B-17 doing crazy things."
Oh.
That B-17's tail, its vertical stabilizer, was so big that when he flew inverted at 4 to 5 feet, the top of that rudder was only like 1.5 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
My first flight was in 1964, and
Wow.
it was a balsa. It was a balsa kit that I saw in a hobby shop and bought, but I couldn't afford to buy the motor. But on my birthday, my dad bought me a Golden Bee motor for it, and then I could not get the engine started. That was my very first time. I was only about 8.
Is Emma home?
Oh. Yeah. And so then I found some older kids in my neighborhood that had some planes. So they helped me start it, and then I was able to fly it. So that was my first time flying.
There you go.
That was kind of like my story. When my first airplane was a Tester's King Cobra.
Oh
And
my goodness.
my
Wow.
mother brought this home because I wanted one because one of the other kids had one of the little testers fly-em models. And so the guy at the store said, well, those don't run very well and they don't fly that well either. You need something a little bigger, really. So she got me this Tester's King Cobra and brought it home. And my dad said, well, we'll go out on the weekend and try this. Well, my dad knew nothing about control line or model airplanes or those kind of engines or anything. So needless to say, we couldn't get it started. After an hour or so, my dad said, let's just take it home. We'll try to get somebody who knows something about this to help you with it. So of course, the kids who I hung out with, they had already done this because they were used to flying the little testers model. So one of the kids was a couple of years older than me. And on Saturday morning, I said to my dad, I said, Tom upstairs in the apartment upstairs, he knows how to do this. Is it okay if he goes out to the school with me and we try this airplane? Oh yeah, go give it a try, see what happens. So this kid, Tom, who was pretty good, he knew sort of what he was doing. We went over to the schoolyard and he said, we're gonna run it not too fast and we're gonna shorten the lines a little bit so it doesn't go too crazy for you on the first flight. So he flew a flight on it. It seemed to fly pretty good. And then he shortened the lines up a bit and got it all set up for me. And he stood inside the circle with me. Another kid launched it. And I was able to fly the thing for like half a flight. It's like he didn't put a full tank in, so it stopped and I landed it. I was hooked. I thought that was the most amazing thing I'd ever done. But of course, on the second flight, I thought I was an expert by the second flight. I said, don't worry, give me the full length of lines and gas her up. So he fills it right up, starts the motor, runs it a little faster, it takes off and it's up and it's down, it's up and it's down, and whack right into the asphalt, parts and pieces everywhere. Oh, God.
Right into the asphalt.
So when I walked in the house, I took it back home. I walk in the apartment and my dad takes one look at it and he goes, well, I guess that's the end of that. Meanwhile, I was thinking to myself, nope, that's just the beginning of that.
There we go. That's right. Hey, we got you,
just came in.
Yeah, James came in. All right. Hey, James, you got to unmute your mic. If you look at your screen, where we're all at, down in the bottom left corner, there's a microphone, and there's probably a line through it. Just click on that to enable that. And you might want to reposition your cameras. We're looking at, I'm not sure what we're looking at.
A lampshade.
I think we're looking at the ceiling.
Yeah.
But that's really encouraging, James, that you got in here. That's wonderful.
I gotta go turn the heat on in the hangar.
All righty.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
By the way, guys, my first flight was in May of '72. So my 50th year anniversary is coming up here.
Wow.
All right.
I would need to figure out the date for me. I think I
don't know what day, but I know it was in May.
I mean, I have to figure out what year it was. I believe I was they called it junior high back then. I think it was, I was either the 8th grade or 7th grade. Most likely the 7th grade, I think.
My first flight was way back in 2018.
All right.
All right.
That.
Way back in 2018. And that would have included Mike Lonke. We knew we were living in the Brodax area. We'd gone to the Brodax event for 2 years and kind of seen it. But going into our 3rd year, I got on Facebook and was trying to get a hold of folks to, get us involved and put a handle in our hand. And so people volunteered Lonke, but he was very willing, of course, to do so. But I'll never forget. I think Angstrom was 7 or 8. His first flight, he goes out there with Mike, has his flight, and then he comes back to us and he just starts busting out in tears, thinking that he had done something wrong or that, it was just a horrible flight or something. And hey, you know what? Like, the tears needed to come later when we crashed it 30, 40 times in a row. But that one stayed up. So I don't know. Again, he just kind of felt like he hadn't done so hot. But by the end of the week, he he flew in the beginner event and whatnot, took home a
That's
plaque that we
awesome.
got up here, and it's been off to the races ever since. So
Very
awesome.
good.
That boy went from never flying an airplane. We worked every day after contest was over because we didn't have time during contest, but every evening they came out. By the end of the week, he was flying. No, he's flying basic flight, right?
basic flight.
Basic flight, yeah.
That's
Cool.
right. He did the whole thing.
You know
That's
what?
awesome.
And then you know, Mike, you know the history. What happened was is we got hooked up with some you know, someone's kind of makeshift planes, or hey, let's turn a combat wing into a plane. So we got into these models that I don't know weren't great for our advancement. But the thing I'll never forget is then the next year we go to Brodax and flying these kind of makeshift planes. And we signed him up, and it was impromptu. We signed him up for profile there on the Monday at Brodax. And I remember the whole family, like the in-laws were like scrambling to get there to see it and whatnot. And he flew the first flight and didn't do any stunts, just kind of took it up and landed. But on the second one, he's like, I want to do a loop. So we just didn't know if it was going to get pulled off or not. And so I'm sitting out there in the circle with him, and literally he goes to do the loop, and that thing is heading straight for the ground. You know, it's going to be a lawn dart. And it just cuts at the last second and makes it. And people were watching, you know, there's just like, woo! And I fell back. I literally fell back in the ring, like, you know, down, because it just was that close to being a lawn dart. But,
Wow.
you know, it's those types of things, though, that, like, I don't know, just growing up with this guy and watching him, his advancement and all this stuff, it's just meant something else the whole journey.
Oh, I bet.
I'm loving it.
Well, in the first year, the airplane that I trained him on was one of Sam's rugged stunt trainers, one of Phil Cartier's airplanes.
Yeah.
And at the end of the week, when Angstrom got his trophy, Sam gave him the airplane, motor and all. Give him
That's
their.
cool. That is so
I
awesome.
think you were there. You were standing there, Mark. You and Will Davis were there when that happened.
Absolutely. I remember that. I remember the family.
Yep.
And listen, and Mike, I don't want to embarrass you, but you know, everyone should know when a lot of people fly with Mike, they come off the circle and they're crying too. So don't worry about it.
Cry when I leave the circle after flying with Mike.
Well, Sam was crying today because I busted his butt today flying combat again. He didn't get me today. I tore him up today. So
Very
Sam was
good.
crying today.
Well, you're healed up now. I mean, he was at a disadvantage when he was having problems with your neck and your shoulder. Yeah, of course
Yeah.
he beat you then. Now beat you now you're healthy.
Yeah, I don't give him nothing anymore. He's got to earn every cut he gets. So
Good.
Mhm.
tough love.
Let me welcome James Bornholt. Thank you very much for your persistence. And you made it in here, James. Can you hear me? And can we hear you? Hey, James, can you say something?
Jim, are you there? I don't think he's got any audio yet.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey, Mark,
Yeah.
you might want to tell Mike about the Bodak, because he wasn't in here when you was talking about that.
Oh, you mean the circle?
Well, no, having it more than maybe this year.
Oh, Mike, I think you came on maybe after we were talking about Brodak a little bit, and I was up there last Friday looking at the backyard because Buzz had put a fence in.
I remember you saying that.
Yeah, and I didn't want to show up in June and find out that things aren't going to fit.
Right.
So you know what the layout looks like.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so the advanced circle, as I told the guys, the pilots are going to have to be really good at wing overs because all we can fit is half the circle.
I'm in.
So,
No worries, man.
attaboy.
Yeah.
No, actually, everything's going to fit fine, going to work out great. And one of the questions was, is this the last Brodak? And my answer was, after meeting with Buzz, no, it's not.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that this is,
Yeah.
her big question was, would Will and I keep doing it as long as she was agreeable? And Will wasn't there, so I spoke for him, and I said,
Sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
So, I just hope we get a huge crowd. It'll make her feel good, and let's keep going.
Absolutely. That's fantastic news, Mark. I tell you, we are so excited about Joe Nall, Brodak, and the Nats. We're ready to put the last 2 years of junk behind us and start getting out and seeing some people and hitting some contests. So, and I think a lot of people feel the same way. I think you're going to have
I do too.
some of the biggest numbers you've ever seen at Brodak's this year.
Yep.
Might
And
be
this
like
year, yeah, we may even get Canadians this year.
If there's any way we can be there, we'll be there. Unless they
I hope
stop
so.
us from crossing the border. I mean, I'm not gonna pull out weaponry to get across or anything, but hey, if we can be there, we'll be there.
Well,
That's
take
the
your
plan.
boat to the river. You can always get across it back that way.
Oh, it's a long call, and with the airplanes and everything, I don't know if I can do that.
Man, you gotta come, man. I bought a roll of stickers with 1-inch American flags, man. I got 200 of those things and I'm gonna hide them all over your stuff.
Thanks.
Everywhere.
Thanks.
When you go to get an oil change, your oil change guy is gonna go, why is there an American flag on your oil pan, man? Payback, buddy. Payback.
You know what? You just opened the floodgates. I'm going hunt for Canadian stickers tomorrow.
Hey, you can get your Canadian stickers the same place I got my American stickers from. China.
China.
There you go. There you
Let
go.
me catch up on the chat box, you guys. Ruben McBride, Stephen McBride's dad, he says, at 10 years old, 1959, my first plane was a P-40 049, and I built a fire. I think he means fire brat. Is that right? Fire brat, or you mean fireball?
Firebrand,
No,
or fire brat. There was both.
Fire baby, fire brat, fire
Was that
cat,
Jim Walker stuff?
And what about the
Yeah.
fireball?
fireball. Yeah, not one in 049. 049 sounds like a fire baby. But,
Anyways, it's a fire brat 15
Yeah.
size model.
Oh, 15 size. Okay.
Yep.
Then he built a fire brat 15 size model. Sorry, Ruben, I never heard of a fire brat, so wasn't sure if it was a spell check issue or not. But great news. And then Brent Williams says, "Hi guys, got 7 flights in this morning."
Woohoo!
Very good, Brent. 7 flights, very good.
We had good weather up here, Charles. It was in the 60s at noon.
Wow.
Very good. Yeah, we had just 4 of us showed up today. Dave Sabon, Stuart Mossman, myself, and Joe Mata. But I think Dave put in 3 flights, and I'm not sure how many flights Stuart Mossman did. But yeah, we had beautiful weather too. Beautiful day.
We had
Charles,
34 degrees and snow.
Yeah.
Snow?
Welcome to it.
Oh, terrible.
We
Charles,
got
where
it
do
a
you
few
live?
days ago.
The ice has gone off the lake though.
Is it?
Yeah, it finally opened up on Wednesday.
All right. So, Mark, to answer your question, I live in Escondido, California, a little bit north of
okay.
San Diego, about 20
Yep.
minutes north of San Diego. And
Yeah. I have family in San Diego.
oh, well, good. Well, if you ever come
Yeah.
down to visit, give me a holler, and we can. I can bring some planes, and we can go out to the flying field and fly. Typically
Yeah,
on
that'd be awesome.
weekdays. Weekdays I fly. I don't fly on weekends. I fly at a public park.
Mhm. Yeah, he lives about a mile from Aunt Patty.
From Aunt Patty.
Aunt
Yeah.
Patty, yeah.
How
My
close are
wife's
you?
Aunt Patty in Escondido, and we figured out we didn't get together that trip, but we'll definitely fix that the next visit. So
All right, sounds good. Yeah,
How close are you to Manning, Charles?
to Manning.
Manning, California.
Well, not very close. I've never heard of it,
Oh,
so I don't know where Manning, California is.
Manning seems to me that's up central or northern part of California. May
Yeah,
not be, but
Well, yeah, probably is 200 miles maybe from LA, maybe.
oh, okay.
Maybe it is, yeah.
Yeah. If I haven't, because I pretty much know all the towns in Southern California, so I'm not familiar with Manning.
Yeah, 200 miles south of Los Angeles would put you south of the Mexican border.
Yeah.
So it's got to be north.
Yeah, it's got to be north. Because I actually,
Yeah.
I was a sales rep for Southern California at one time, so I did a lot of driving in Orange County, and so I never seen Manning. Dennis B, he says a plastic Sabre jet 049 or 051 was my first maybe in 1958. My first big plane was that Trixie that Bob Hunt mentioned Monday. Very cool. Very, very cool. I think I must have flown my first plane somewhere around 1972 would be my guess.
You, me, both.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine might have been 56 or 57, maybe.
Okay.
I think mine was a puddle jumper. I had to build it. I had to build up wing.
Puddle jumper.
Well,
Very cool.
I started. Oh, Charles, I started flying control line so long ago that the only kits had 2 wings.
It's funny.
I started, I finally learned the pattern in about 1956 or so. And I was getting pretty good at the pattern. And then the next year they came out with the current pattern. I had to learn all over again.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, do you have your finger across half your camera? Part of your image is obscured by.
Oh, you're right.
All righty,
Thank
cool.
you.
No problem.
Actually, no, I
Don't
won't
say it.
Don't
won't
go
say it.
there. Don't do it.
That's our intrepid CD. Nope, won't say it.
Very good.
Hey,
It's good to
Hey,
exercise
Dennis.
some control.
Dennis, if you want porta potty privileges of Brodak, be nice to me.
Maybe that was the key question. Is she going to arrange for that Cadillac porta potty again, or?
Cadillac.
I don't know if that one's coming or not, but I promise you there'll be plenty of opportunity for that activity.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Well,
but that one was so amazing. It's like you had to wash up before you went inside, you know?
Pretty much.
I know.
Pre-COVID.
That was so amazing. I never seen anything like it. I mean,
Yeah.
I took pictures of it. I never seen
Nice.
a porta potty with a counter, and a mirror and air conditioning and piped in music.
Some
yeah.
people never seen a bathroom anywhere as good as that.
Yeah, really.
Are we really talking about the crapper at Brodak's? I mean,
Yeah. Total
That name.
experience,
That's-
Mike. Total experience. So
Betcha.
Yeah.
We've receded to new levels.
Yeah, that thing was highbrow. I've never seen anything so luxurious.
Yep.
I was amazed. That was
It's a
amazing.
concourse winning bathroom.
That's right.
Yeah, that was
That's right.
amazing.
They should have put it out on the front lawn on Thursday.
Mark, how's the
Oh.
work going with Pampa?
Well, I'll give you a quick report, and I think I'm stirring up the troops. Howard, are you still on here?
I think so.
Yeah, 'cause I want to embarrass your friend, but this coming Thursday, 6 days away, whatever it is, I'm having our first Zoom meeting. And that'll be all the district directors and everyone else who's a trustee or whatever you call it, a board of directors at Pampa. Because I don't want to wait till the July meeting at the Nats to get going. That's 3 months away and it's too much wasted time. So I sent out a notice to everyone that we're going to have this meeting. And then yesterday I get a call at 9:30 at night and it's Paul Walker. I said, how are you? He says, fine. He said, I can't find the meeting. I said, well, you're a week early. He said, oh, okay. So anyway, Paul was the first on the meeting, but he's a week early. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I have, well, I'll tell you what, John, I'm taking this approach with Pampa, and that is that I believe the future of control line stunt competition at the highest level is in Pampa's hands. I just believe that, and that can be really good. But I'm not the kind of guy to just sit and hope things happen. So I have a whole bunch of things that I'd like to bounce off the troops, and really get the membership up and have reasons why every person who flies control line stunt should want to be a member of Pampa. And I think we can do that. So I'm excited about it. And I've thought about maybe having the equivalent of Zoom meetings with Pampa members a few times a year and just open it up to anyone who, you know, I think communication is so important. And it's nice to have the newsletters. That's one way. But those of you that know me well enough, you know, I'm pretty open to things and it's easy to get a hold of me and I'll tell you the truth. So, John, I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also gonna, the guys don't know this, but if any of them that are a district director or any other position are in there and they really don't want to be in there, they're doing it because no one else would, I'm gonna ask them to find a replacement. So there are people in there that really, you know, want to kind of take this and make Pampa, well, I shouldn't put it this way, but make Pampa great again. Because I think there are a lot of things we can do. So I'm excited.
Excellent.
And the people on the board, there are some, I mean, every one of them is a good person. You know, it's like a who's who. I'm very fortunate. And Dave Tribble's nice enough to stay on as secretary treasurer until we find a replacement. And Dave did what he had to do when he was running Pampa. And a lot of that was about trying to control the cash flow. And he's done a good job. And I think now we're in a position to really grow it and make it exciting and give people absolutely every reason in the world why they should join. So that's what I'm going to do.
Sounds excellent.
Thank you.
What is the cost of being a member of Pampa? I just out of curiosity, I have no idea.
$40.
That's pretty reasonable.
It is, and that includes, you know, the newsletter. And right now we're planning to have 4, so every 3 months you'll get a newsletter. But I also want to maximize a Facebook page as well as our website. You know, there are too many things that are outdated, and I think we just need to approach it and get it right. And I'm open to, you know, I'm looking at it with a clean slate. I think there's a lot of things we can do that don't cost money that can get more people excited about control line stuff.
Very good.
Well,
Yeah.
it takes looking back, because I've been a member since '82. I'm not currently a member. I just realized I hadn't re-upped. But I first joined, I think it was like '82. And I saw a lot of good people come and go. and I saw a lot of not so good people come and go. And it was interesting that the ones that put into it, like you're going to do, seemed the hobby or the Pampa seemed to grow in those periods. And everybody was working. Then we had others where it didn't work quite so well. And that's just management, you know. But I think you've got enough practical knowledge of managing a hobbyist group that you might be able to steer the ship a little in the right direction.
Well, you know, a couple of you, well, Mike's going to be there this year, but one of the reasons I volunteered to take the position was the first time I went to the Triple Tree Aerodrome, which is not far from Greenville, South Carolina. It still is the largest model airplane flying in the world. And it was all radio control. And they would get 1,500 pilots for the week. 1,500 pilots.
Wow.
And this is a facility that's 475 acres. It's half devoted to full-scale activity and half devoted to modeling. Both are equally important. And I had never met the owner, a guy named Pat Hartness, but I went to Brodak in 2010, and I got so excited about it that I called Mr. Hartness, who took the call, and I asked him, would he be willing to put in control line circles at Triple Tree? Because without that, it's really not representing model aviation. And I had no idea what I was saying, but I had a lot of conviction. And he came back to me and said, yes.
Fantastic.
He said, we'll put in 3 world-class circles. We have someone who's going to pay for it. But you need to do something. And I said, what do I need to do? He says, well, you got to be there the whole week every year we do this. And I said I would do that. And I invited some friends, and I started getting a little worried about it because I know how much he put into the circles. They're like giant golf greens. They each have their own irrigation system. I mean, they're beautiful. You could fly with 1/2-inch tires and get on and off the ground.
Wow.
And out of panic, I decided to bring some little trainer airplanes with electric motors and let anyone who comes to Triple Tree come down to the circles and try them. And in the first 5 years, we reached 2,000 flights.
Wow.
Very cool.
And this is an all RC event. And we've become probably the most popular place for people down there to go who don't have airplanes. So the spouses, the kids, and last year we had 50 people come down just for control line. So I just know that if you bring good people around you and you're willing to put out some work, the craziest thing happened in 2016. And you got a picture of this on the main flight line. There were about 4,000 people there for the Friday air show, a model air show. 4,000 or 5,000 people are there. And one of the things they do there is present the 3 top awards that they give each year. And the biggest award is called the Joe Nall Award. Joe Nall was a friend of Pat who died in an airplane crash in South America. And actually, he was an FAA investigator, and he died in an airplane crash. And they asked me to come up there to do something. And when I went up there, they announced the winner of the 2016 Joe Nall Award, and it was me.
Whoa.
It was a control line guy, you know, and I'll never forget that. And so now we're probably up to 3,000, and I'm busy in my basement building more trainers. And this year we'll probably have 400 or 500 more people come in and get on the handle.
Wow.
And if I could get 1 out of 100 people to get into the hobby, I'm happy.
Right.
You know, I'm happy. I'm not looking for every kid to say they're going to fly control line. They won't. But people have told me that kids aren't interested in anything but computers, and I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. So Triple Tree has ended up being just a place where anything can happen. And fortunately, I ran into two men who have the pockets to make things happen. And they put over $70,000 into those three circles and built us a permanent shelter, a permanent gazebo. And now we have people that come down and they camp there. So I'm just taking that experience, and I just know that we can find new people to join Pampa. So that's that.
It's amazing.
Interesting story. It really is.
I
Shows
didn't
what it is.
realize there was that much going
We're
on
heading
with
out,
that.
guys. Bye.
All right, bye-bye, Angstrom. And
Bye-bye.
Brendan, thanks for coming in.
All right. Bye.
Oh, good.
And Al, thanks for coming in, Al. And Philip Bailey, thank you for coming in.
Hey,
Appreciate it.
Hey, Phil,
good to see everybody.
you too.
We lost Jim. I think he was trying to talk, but his audio was not working right.
Yeah, but hopefully he'll be back. But he's making progress. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I got the Torino sitting here just to show him, but he.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, that was a great story. I didn't realize there was that much going on there. I didn't know the history of it, really. That's amazing.
Oh, heck,
Well, you
I don't
know,
have-
I just couldn't get enough people coming down. So I needed to do that. And then we started a stunt contest. And last year we had maybe 45 people go through a stunt camp run by Randy Smith and some other people. So Dave Fitzgerald's been coming, and Derek Barry has always been there. Joe Daly came last year. A bunch of really good people, and I give out awards, and it's very rewarding. It's just people have told us it's the highlight of them coming to Triple Tree is to come down to our little circles and fly airplanes.
Oh, that's
So cool.
Let's not forget the really cool Triple Tree shirts too, man. I don't know if you're doing those this year, but we've gotten some pretty nice shirts in years past.
We have, and yeah, when you guys, if you ever get a chance to come, it's like the second week of May each year, and it's a pretty fantastic place.
It's on our list for next year.
There you go.
Certainly is. I enjoyed it.
It's a long drive for me.
yeah, for me too.
Yeah, you got another almost 1,000 miles.
Here's what's left of Sam's airplane today.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
That'd be good for Junkyard Wars.
What engine is that?
LA 25.
It's LA 25.
Oh, okay.
It's a 25.
Oh,
I flew right through him, destroyed his plane, and there wasn't a scratch on mine. Didn't even put a hole in it. It's just crazy. I mean, I punched right through him, and
Would you lighten the case on that engine?
actually, this is one of Mac Henry's old motors. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I got 4 of these that he took the lugs off of, or had somebody take the lugs off of. And this one, I put a new piston and liner in this one last year. I mean, you can tell it looks like hell on the outside, but it's brand new on the internals.
Okay.
But yeah, pretty good. I like how he squared off that intake and got rid of the lugs.
I have my engines done up like that too.
Really?
Yep.
Because I only have these from Mac and Marshall, but Al, I got about 18 more that need the lugs taken off of them, buddy.
I had somebody do it for me, but
Oh, okay, all right.
he lightened them up. But then once you do that, then you can't use it for stun or anything. Put a muffler on it.
Oh, they're cheap enough. I don't care. They're so darn cheap at swap meets now.
And
I need to go to the swap meets he's going to. If we find them, they're $70.
it's a bummer. Brian Gardner's not making piston aligners anymore.
Is he done
Quit?
Yeah,
forever?
that's what he says. You know, he said he's 2 years behind and he can't get the piston material anymore.
Oh,
And then because the guys are calling me up because they want another run of LA 25s.
I would so be in for some 25s.
Yeah,
Me too.
I got 5 of the 46s.
yeah,
I would absolutely be in on some 25s.
yeah. So I had at least 15 ready to go. So that's usually his minimum order. And I knew other guys were, you know, I was going to put something. I sent them an email before I put it on Stunthangar, and he said, nope, no more.
Wow,
Oh,
that's a bummer.
Yeah.
Garbage.
Because the LAs that I had would not run. You know, the piston aligners were so bad that the engines wouldn't run. You know, they wouldn't run with a bladder.
I haven't had one that shed the chrome yet, Al.
Mine didn't shed the chrome. It's just that it was so tight. You'd send it up rich, and then it would come on and run right, and then it would seize up, heat up, and shut off.
wow.
You know, they were the worst engines I ever bought in my life.
But you were running them a long time ago, right? Like when they probably first came out?
When they were the last run from China.
The last one from China. Okay.
Yeah, they were the last, like when they wwere being phased out. They're made in China, mine. And all I did was take the piston and liner out, put the Gardner piston and liner in, same rod, same crankshaft, everything. Started it up, ran it once on the ground, and then put it in a match and ran perfect.
Yeah. I guess we're pretty fortunate because, I mean, I've had a few turds here and there, but I would say I'm batting 9 out of 10 on these motors, you know,
Okay.
Usually. Like every out of 10 motors, I get one that I'll have issues with that I just can't. Like you said, you send it up and it's right, and then it'll either go lean or go fat and quit on you.
Yeah.
You just can't figure out why it does it, you know.
And then once it starts to run normal, then it doesn't hold compression anymore. It's the engine's toast. You know.
Well, I just put I put an OS remote on my fast there.
On the what?
On the fast, on the one you gave Sam.
Yeah.
I just put an OS on it. Gene's messaging me back and forth, so we may have a solution there at some point. He answered up anyway, so we'll see what he says.
All right.
More.
Because that's well, anyway. So, and Mark, did you end up going to Brodak?
Yeah, I did, and everything is fine, and the circles is going to be as good as they ever were, and a great treat for everyone is going to be the tour of the museum. It is out of this world.
Okay. Because I saw where you said you were trying to see where the fence line was. And if you go to Google Maps and, put in, Brodak or, put in the address, you could see the overhead shot of Brodak yard and you could see the fence there.
Oh, is that right?
Yep. You could see the outline of the fence. Yeah.
Yeah, I went up there with a friend of mine, Bruce Jennings, and we brought a 100-foot. Well, we got 100-foot tape, and we just wanted to make sure it's going to have to be ripped off a little differently because the edge of the advanced circle is just about 2 feet from the fence. So people can't walk through there, but it really is not a problem. Everything will be fine.
Oh, I thought it looked a little bit further than that, but I noticed where those guys usually set up their tents on, you know, when you walk in the drive, when you come in and to the left.
Yep.
You know, that's gonna.
No, the tents will be there, but they're gonna have to be inside the fence, not outside.
Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, if you wanted to see the overhead shot of it, you can see, go to Google Maps. I mean, yeah, go to Google Maps and put in the address, and you could see.
Okay.
You could see the outline of it.
That's a great idea. Thank you, Al.
All right, now what?
Did you guys see
I have
my post on Facebook with Larry Scrimsey's birthday?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
I did.
How old is Larry?
89.
Very good.
Wow.
Yeah, he turned 89 on the 14th.
Wow.
Yeah, deal.
So we wanted to get
And,
him out, especially after, you know, losing his wife just a couple months ago.
Oh, no, I didn't know
Oh,
that.
that's a shame.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know
You,
that.
you guys know Wesley Dick?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, he just turned 90.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Tom
his
Looper will,
plan is to come to the Nats and keep going.
good deal. For any of
Good
you that
man.
know him, Tom Looper turns 80 on the 21st. And he's still going strong.
That's great.
Got to have a reason to get up in the morning.
I think Tom's is to whoop me in the ground with a stunner. He's still whooping me.
This past Saturday, I went to my 50th high school reunion.
Wow.
I thought I walked into a nursing home.
Isn't that scary, eh? Wow.
Yeah.
What year did you graduate? You don't, I thought you were younger than me.
72.
74, you're older than me. How about that?
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm older than you.
Yeah, evidently you are.
Jeez.
Look what I started.
Yeah, I'm 72 also.
Oh,
Class
boy.
of 72, I should say.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Phil, you're a punk. What can I say?
Hey, I've always said that's what scares me is I'm the youngest in most every crowd I run in, and I'm getting old.
Yeah.
That's
No,
it.
what happened?
And I'm almost 10 years behind you guys.
And
Mm.
my
81.
wife says not getting.
Well, I
Oh,
think the street lights just came on, so I'm gonna have to leave you guys. So you take care.
Have a good night, Dennis.
Thanks for coming in,
Alrighty.
Dennis.
Hi, Dan.
Hey, Dennis.
Bye, Dennis.
I won't be here next week, but I'll try to get back and see you in 2 weeks here. So
All
you
right.
take care.
Well, be
See you
safe.
then.
I look
Bye.
forward to seeing you again.
behave and be
Take care,
careful.
Dennis.
Have a good one.
I gotta go hide the Easter eggs now. So
All right.
So,
Oh,
Phil,
Lord. Yes, sir.
how old are you now?
66. I'll be 67 next month. June,
Oh, you
well,
just-
not next month, June the 8th.
Geez, when I graduated, you must have been in the third grade or something like that.
Yeah.
I graduated 61.
What scares me is when I go to my doctor, the urologist, or any of those guys, and you're sitting in there and I don't feel like a youngster, but I don't feel like an old guy. And you see all these guys come up to the desk and they're walkers and canes and all this stuff. Date of birth, 66, 72,
Wow.
you know, and I'm sitting there, my God, these people are a lot younger than me and 10 years to 20 years younger, and they look 20 years older.
Yeah.
It makes me feel a little better.
I think flying airplanes keeps you young.
I
So
think
I
No
think-
doubt about
I
it.
think it's the
do to
castor
get you
oil.
out and about.
I think
Yeah.
it's
No
the
doubt
castor
about it.
oil.
even just the feelings that you get flying a plane, I think it's just good
Yeah.
for you. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm 65. I mean, I'm 64.
Look at the exercise. Look at all the walking that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you're outside
Somebody-
getting that vitamin D, and you know it's
Yeah.
and
It
you
Somebody
is
told me-
scary how many people, when they retire, they shut it down completely.
Yep.
They
And
do
yeah, and that's what
nothing.
they do. That's what
And
they
if you
do.
do that, you're gonna fall apart real fast.
They
Yeah.
they interviewed a couple of years ago. It was on TV. a bunch of centurions, people that were right close to 100 or over 100 years old. And
Yeah,
a lot of them are really very active at that
you have
age.
to be, for sure.
And the question was posed to them, why is it that you are so much different than other people? Other people are younger you, just as was described. And they said, well, I never stopped working. I was always doing something. Keep your mind and your body occupied.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I turned 79 next month.
Oh, wow. Very good.
All right.
Yep.
My
Yeah, I
wife
turned-
hasn't. Go ahead.
I turned 79 the 18th of this month.
Oh my goodness.
You're a
Wow.
little older than me.
In a couple days, huh?
Yeah.
How about that?
Wow.
Congratulations.
You guys are almost
I turned 58 this year.
Darn kids.
Young guy.
Young.
Yeah.
Young
Well,
guy.
I got one for you. My wife keeps saying that I'm going to outlive her. My oldest living relative was 82 when they passed away. Her oldest, she has an aunt that was 11 days short of 111 when
Wow.
she passed away.
Wow.
She's
Oh,
got two
cow.
more aunts that made it to 100, and she thinks I'm going to outlive her.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. I question that too. Let me get to the chat box. There's a comment from Mel Rogers. Anybody know Mel Rogers?
Yeah.
He comes on.
Mel-
He says,
Mel used
Mike,
to join us on here, Charles. Mel's been in here before. Mel's been in here. He's the half
Okay.
eight guy that's
oh,
building.
that's right. Yeah, I remember the machinist.
Mhm.
Machinist. So he says, hey, Mike and Al and all the rest. Hey, Mel. Hey, we miss you. I look forward to you come back in here. That'd
Come
be
on
great.
back. Come on back. We need to talk to
says,
the machinist.
He says, oh, this is Brent Williams. He says, I turn 44 next month.
He's a
There's
kid.
a young'un.
Yeah,
There's
you
a
are
young'un.
young. And John Lytle, it says, Mark, from the day I met you in 2019 in Muncie, everything you tell me impresses me. You being somebody is capable to take the lead. So very good. I agree. Absolutely. I ditto to that.
Well, that's very. He said it exactly the way I told him to.
Very good.
Do you have his
Thank you,
address
Ron.
to send him that check, Mark?
He's
Hey,
texting.
Steve.
Hey, Steve,
Hey,
thanks
listen.
for coming in.
Charles,
Good to
I
see you,
heard
Steve.
something that maybe you guys know if I'm right or wrong. But I had heard that, when we got up in the years 70s and 80s, that when we stopped flying control line, we have to get in the middle of a circle and go clockwise
Your
the same number
bandwidth is
of
low,
rounds.
Mark. You're breaking up.
Oh, okay.
I hear him fine.
Yeah.
I hear him
Hey, I'm
fine.
fine too.
I hear him fine.
Oh, really?
Clockwise the same number. That'd be good, Mark, because that means I'll
Yeah.
get another 30 years, because it'd take me that long to go that many laps.
I'll never get there.
So you just said you gotta unwind, huh?
I got a whole lot of unwinding to do if I do
Can you
that.
imagine how many turns you'd have to make to unwind all your turns? Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Mind you, I've flown a lot of inverted. It might not be as bad as I think.
You know what? Yeah. Yeah. What worries me, does anybody else do this? When I have a layoff, now I'm not back where I can do the overheads yet. I'm hoping, but I'm not quite there yet. But when I go out and fly, when I fly 6 laps inverted, I'm starting to get dizzy. It's time to stop and do a maneuver.
Yeah.
And when I get an overrun, oh my gosh. I was staggering around out there so bad the other day. Tom said that he and Buddy Barbie were ready to, one of them come out and get me because they said I was staggering all over the circle. I didn't know I was getting drunk, but they said they thought I was. But I'm not used to just going around in circles. About drove me crazy.
Yeah.
I was flying an airplane that was way too nose heavy, and it just did not want to do anything. But I didn't want to go around in circles, and I tried climbs and dives, anything to keep my mind off of going around in circles. Oh,
Well, that's when you stop and do lazy eights.
Yeah. Well,
this thing won't do a lazy eight. That's the problem.
Oh,
it was a trick for me when Paul Smith invented that new racing contest, two-way speed. So you had to do was it 7 laps upright, then flip it around and
Oh.
7 laps inverted. You know.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was like, and then the guy I went with hurt his leg, so he wanted, so I had to fly his plane too. I said, it was.
Good grief.
That's a trip. Did
I
you
went
fly
down
that
to,
way?
we were down in Columbia not too long ago, and the guy wanted me to fly. I kept talking. I told the guy on here one night that I was interested in flying Navy carrier, but I've never done it. So I was down in Columbia, and the guy tells me, "Here, go fly this. You said you'd never flown one. Go fly it. I know you can fly a stunner. I've seen you fly a stunner, so I know you can fly this thing." Oh my. That thing, it only had a 35 on it, but that first 7 laps,
Mm-hmm.
that was a blur, is the only way I can describe it. He let go of that thing and it went, I said, I'm in trouble. So I finally caught up with it, but I was really ready to pull the throttle back and slow that thing down and go the 7 laps slow. What surprised me, and this is no joke, but it's no brag. It wasn't me, it was the airplane. I did the 7 laps and then I came around. He said, land next time. And I come around and I caught the second wire. The thing landed flat and the motor's still running. I said, he says, I've flown that plane 4 seasons. I've never done that. How did you do it? I don't know. Jeez, it was a good airplane, is all I can tell you. But when that thing took off and it was over here, and whoa, that's a whole lot quicker than a stunner. It was fun, but I don't question whether I want to do this again or not. I've never flown a fast one. I've flown profiles and I've flown, Keith Trostle gave me plans to a little Bearcat with a 40 and about that big, little plane.
Ooh.
Years and years ago, 1974, around 74, 75. And I wish to goodness I'd remember to ask him the other night if he still had plans to that thing, because I would love to build another one. Mine got destroyed in the move. But anyway, that thing, that was the most fun little airplane to fly. I love Bearcats, and that thing was so fun.
Knowing Keith, he probably has plans.
I think I'm gonna ask him. I've got his email address. I think I'm gonna try to write him tomorrow.
Yeah.
I was supposed to have written him 2 weeks ago when he gave me the address, but never around the holiday. I never have any time around the holiday. It's been crazy.
You
And I
already
got
hit the Easter eggs?
Do what? Oh yeah, the Easter eggs are hidden.
Easter eggs.
They're as hidden as they're going to be.
I'm
No,
not
this is
doing that.
first year. This is the first year in many years that I don't have anybody to hide them for. I've got a 6-year-old, 5-year-old grandson. He'll be 6 later this month, but he's in Columbia and we don't get him this year. So for Easter, so they're divorced and we don't get him for Easter this year. So we'll make up for it next year.
Yeah.
When we see him, we have a
Shout
ball.
out to Mel. Hey Mel, thanks for coming in.
Hey,
But get
Hey,
this.
Mel.
Mel,
Hey there.
Good to see you, Mel. The kid loves to fish and he loves to fly. He loves airplanes. So there's hope
great.
yet.
Perfect.
1 out of 4. I might get one out of 4 that'll go fly with me. The other 3 don't care anything. Now my oldest grandson will sit and fly a simulator all day long. And he'll fly radio control, but he has no interest in control.
Not going out to that field. Nope, not happening.
No, but he'll sit on that simulator and fly. He'll take up the turbine jets and fly them around and come in and land them just right down the middle of the strip. I can't get the full thing off the ground, and he can fly it and land it. And I'm sitting there, forget it. I mean, I used to fly an F8F. I used to have a Corsair and a Bearcat, and I used to fly those and not have any problem at all. But this simulator just wears me out. I don't know what it is. I don't have the hand-eye coordination this kid's got, I'm telling you. But
That's
he's
for sure. When we get old, we don't have any of that game.
Oh man, forget it. He's amazing. My grandson's amazing. And my youngest grandson can take an iPad and just reprogram it and do all sorts of things. Ask me how I know. My iPad's around here somewhere. But anyway, I don't know. These kids today can do things technology-wise I can't dream of doing. I take a computer apart, fix it, and put it back together. Don't ask me to operate that fool thing, and these kids can operate them. 6 years old and he can work the computer. He can do a what's this game thing? Whatever the game, it's not a Game Boy. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, he can work this thing just without any trouble. They put me playing
Xbox.
Did Howard get his wing cleared?
Yeah, not quite. It's ready.
It's ready for clear.
Let's see what it looks like, Howard.
Got to sand it a little bit.
Howard, that is some serious yellow.
Oh,
I
that's
like
great.
that.
That's
That
beautiful.
looks
That's beautiful.
I don't think you're going to be able to see that in the air, Howard.
I hope I don't. That.
If
You know, a
miss
friend of
it,
mine that I used to fly with, he says, you can make a plane bright and stuff so you can see the maneuvers well. He goes, but just remember, the judges can see the maneuvers you mess up well.
Yeah.
yeah.
Howard,
you don't.
what year? Okay, so I got the green, the yellow, and the blue Nats towels that were in our goodie bags. What year was green? I don't remember. Was that last year?
Doesn't say.
It doesn't say. Okay, so I've got green, blue, and yellow here in the shop, but I don't remember what year is what year because they don't date them, right? They don't put dates on them.
I have no idea.
I don't even remember
Mine is
what colors
orange.
I've got.
What color is yours, Charles?
I think mine's orange and it's from 2019.
When did they start that?
Oh, why? It's been, I mean, I have 3 different colors, so I've, 3 different years at least.
Samantha got a couple of them, but I never got one.
So there's yellow, right? No date on the yellow. And there's blue.
All right, cool.
And then I have the green as well. No date. But it's a different color every year. And you get one in your little goodie bag.
Didn't
And
they give,
awesome.
didn't
Since
they
I
give
got
out
Sam,
t-shirts?
we get 2 goodie bags. We each get a goodie bag. So we end up with 2 a year, which is nice.
Didn't they give out a t-shirt and stuff like that one year?
No, they don't give away t-shirts in the goodie bags. They gave hats one year.
Was it hats?
Yeah, which was kind of a drag because they didn't do it again. Well, actually, they did it 2 years in a row. That's a 2019 and that's a 2020. But they did not have hats last year. No hats in your goodie bag, right? So just for doing. If you're a Nats volunteer, you get a yellow one that says, Nats. The t-shirts is if you win your event, you get a t-shirt that says whatever the year Nats champion.
Oh, wow. Cool.
You got to be first place in whatever event you're flying. And then when they hand out the trophies, at the SIGs or whatever, they come down and they bring a t-shirt in your size.
Samantha still has them, and I just thought they came in the. I just know it said champion on it.
It'll say, because Sam has 2. He's got a 2018 and a 2019 Nats champion shirt. You cannot buy that shirt. You got to win whatever event you're flying to get that shirt. First place.
Cool.
There's nothing
awesome.
second or third.
Yeah, then Samantha won that handle one year too for winning. She won a Smith Brothers handle.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, Sam hadn't gotten a shirt in 2 years, man. He better get off it this year and come up with a t-shirt this year. That was a joke. That was a dad's. He better bust his hump and get a first place in something this year.
I'd be happy if I didn't finish in the bottom half of the field in something.
What you got there, Steve?
That looks like a twister wing.
Magician.
Oh, cool.
Magician. Oh, man.
Nice.
And there's
Very
that thing that Dennis makes for the electric part of the conversion in there.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna tell him, man, that thing is made like an engineer made it. It fits in there perfect.
Nice.
So that's why I didn't recognize that's cool.
With his brother and his dad, you'd think he don't think like an engineer. I mean, seriously.
Hey, would you guys put adjustable lead outs in it?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
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 That's a lot more work because then I'm gonna have
Yeah.
because this
Do it.
thing has that solid.
Well, it's probably too late to do it now because you can't make a hole through there.
I can, but I really couldn't make a hole through it before it was on there. I can go in there and cut a hole.
I
But
don't know
From
if
the
I put
backside,
adjustable lead outs in mine or not. I can't remember. Hang on.
Come from the backside with a Dremel and make a hole. It's not a problem.
yeah, I can do it. You know, that's not a problem, but and I got a super long drill bit. I can drill some holes and then link up the holes. with
What
the
type of
spot.
wingtip you using on that?
Just whatever came with it. I'm not sure.
Oh,
I was gonna put them
because
on.
I mean, you could use a push type lead out adjuster, on the very tip of your tip.
Yeah, that's why I didn't put them on because it's like, do I want to put the adjustable lead outs? Then I got to do the tip different and all that kind of stuff. And it, in the plan, it shows just two pieces of copper tubing that tells you where to put them.
Yeah, the way it was done in the 50s.
I know I'm not going to put a weight box in it. I need to talk to Dennis about that because if I put a weight box in it and use the spectral lines.
All right, Steve. So what I did is I made the tip out of the center piece is a piece of 1/8 and then a piece of 1/16 on either side of it for the tip.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can see through that or not.
And then you did carve out the
I just made the holes in the ribs a little bigger. You see where I've elongated the ribs, the holes.
Yeah, but one of the ribs don't you have to cut through so the wires don't
in the spar? In the spar, I had to just in the last rib bay, I had to do the spar.
Oh, okay.
The last rib bay. I mean, you could go an extra one if you want a little more adjustment, but I didn't think I'd need that much.
Oh, okay, cool.
Pretty
this one's
covered.
about half painted now. Got the canopy painted and the tails are all
Oh
painted.
man,
That's
that
coming.
looks good. Oh, I
It's
love
almost
addition.
there.
I
It's
love
almost
addition.
there.
That is-
Cloth hinges, all right.
What did you do? Cloth hinges or monocoque hinges?
Cloth hinges, all cloth hinge. I don't know if I can get a better shot. Hang on.
I could see them, but I didn't know if that was okay. Yeah,
And I did cloth hinges all the way across.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
Oh,
And then
very
just
nice.
monocoated over it, huh?
That's not monocoat, that's paint.
Oh, is that paint?
Yeah,
You
it's
did
all,
a good
it's
job.
all
It looks
red
great.
paint. Yeah, lots of sanding sealer and lots of sanding. I feel like Sparky lately. I'm sanding so much, it's ridiculous.
Golly molly, don't you?
Me too.
And Lynn?
Is
Yeah,
that
I
the
bet
Rodak,
Howard does too. What's that?
the Rodak kit or that the Midwest kit?
That's the Midwest kit. An
All right.
old Midwest kit. Some guy brought it into the hobby shop and said, I just want to get rid of this.
Wow.
I paid $100 for it.
Nice.
Listen, I hope you tighten up that silver covering.
Yeah, it needs a little tightening up.
Yeah.
Hey,
It
Charles.
looks a little
Yeah.
shabby right
A little
now.
shabby, eh? Not gonna win
Yeah.
many concourse awards with that aluminum.
Yeah.
Did you
That's for sure.
did you put in a weight box on yours or not?
So, yeah.
Oh, you did.
I'll show you where I put it. Lucky I got see-through covering.
Oh yeah, I
There
see
we
it.
Oh, that's nice.
Now,
See, I
on the
was
other-
gonna do that, but with the electric, the battery is on the
Nice job.
it pushes through on the outside
nice.
of the fuselage. And I'm afraid that if I use the spectral lines, I'm gonna have to build a weight box on the inboard wing.
Well, yeah, well, I'm gonna use spectral lines probably on this, but I may not have to put any weight in the tip weight box, that's all, or very little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just so far, what we've been noticing, the two planes I put it on, I've averaged taking about anywhere from 3/8 to a half an ounce out.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you
So
fly more,
the
you
weight
usually have,
becomes very little, yeah.
Yeah, the weight of the weight box is enough. Charles, what I was going to tell you, I was trying to buy a chipmunk kit, and Walt's not doing real well right now. But I was looking on eBay the other night, and there's been a chipmunk kit on there. Several people have called me, text me, whatever. There's a chipmunk kit on eBay. Yeah, but it's $450.
$450?
Yeah, yeah.
Holy cow!
For a Sig chipmunk kit.
Does
I was
nobody
looking on
have
there-
any?
Well, so I was looking on there the other night, and I saw that one, and I just kept looking through to see CL kits to see what was on there. And there was a guy who had put one on there. Buy it now, $100.
Yeah.
I snapped that sucker up.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah.
It's a hobby shop that has it. Richard Flies RC or something. I can't remember the name of it. I'll get the name right so I can give them proper credit next time. Because I'm gonna be buying some more stuff from them. This kit came, and he said the box is brown, but the wood inside is beautiful. I got it home, got to looking at it. It is gorgeous, but I'm telling you, when they wrap one up to ship it to you, they wrap one up. I had a time getting into that thing.
Oh, that's good.
They ain't scared of tape, I'll tell you that.
Sig,
Wow.
Sig chipmunk in stock at Sig, $134.
Right,
but
yeah,
that's the
I'm
new
looking
one.
at the same thing.
But that's
It's
the new one. That's the Super Chipmunk. That's not the Sig CL3.
Oh, okay.
I fell in love with CL3.
Oh, the old one. Okay.
Yeah, I've always wanted to build an old one. I have one of those downstairs, and it's a great airplane. Don't get me wrong, but I always wanted to build. I built one years ago. Never got to finish it. We moved, and the same move that the Bearcat got destroyed. That one got destroyed. The people that moved us, never mind. I just wouldn't use them again for anything.
Yeah, I got
But,
one. I think I paid
CL3 and the
mine, Phil.
Do what now?
What's
I
the
didn't hear you,
difference
Steve.
between the CL3 and the new kit? What's the difference?
The big difference is the wing is a little different. The canopy on the CL3 is the long greenhouse one. My light just quit in here.
Yeah, one
Just a
isn't
kid.
the Super Chipmunk. It's the
Super Chipmunk is the new one, yeah. It's the one. The Super Chipmunk is the one that's red, white, and blue on the box, and it's the one that Stoll flew the real one like. It's modeled after. Oh, that's pretty.
Ooh, that is pretty, Mel. Oh man.
That's that offset
Wow.
intake that Al talked me into. It's his fault that I made this engine.
Have you run it yet?
Oh, that is a
No,
deal.
I'm doing the hand fitting right now. I'm hand fitting. That's the barrel, and I'm actually hand fitting that crank in there.
Wow.
Then I'll probably run it the next day or two. I'll be done.
What do you seal up your? Do you make gaskets for it, or do you just use silicone to seal?
I hand stone the surface so it's dead flat, both parts, and then they're machined to match up. You can see the parts on the cylinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're machined mirror of that.
Oh, okay.
Those.
How about the back plate?
The back plate I'm using from the Pico engine. I didn't want to make a back plate, so I made it to fit it. I'm lazy.
Oh, okay, so you can use that gasket there then, can't you?
There's no gasket on that one. It has an O-ring.
Oh, an O-ring. Okay.
You could use silicone or something, but on this barrel, but I've never seen a reason to. You know.
Where'd you get Where'd you get that tricky glass prop at, man? Those are oldies there, man. I had a few of those.
Back when I was pylon racing, that was the prop we used, that 4.9 by 2.5 pitch.
I got a few of those left. I run on the Norvilles. Yeah.
They're a sweet little prop.
I got a question.
North of 36 out of it on that prop. Just
How
like your
can-
little Cyclone.
How can you build something like that and then say you're lazy? That just don't compute.
Oh, when I get making the engines, I don't want to make more parts than I have to. So the back plate I usually use. The front piece is this drive plate. That's off a Fora. That's a TD spinner. This this, if I can get the cylinder out, oh, that one's in pretty hard. This head is the original Pico head that I've just machined down. The less work I can do, the more fun I have at it, I guess.
Sure.
You know?
I'm gonna tell you what, that's a good looking little engine.
Yeah, I
Yes,
hope
it
it
is.
goes good. It should. I built 4 of them. I'm not quite
Wow.
done. This is the furthest along one.
What is that for? Well,
That's an 050. I'm going to run 2 of them in speed events and 2 of them in combat. For
okay.
half
Oh my
acre
goodness.
is what I want to do. You know?
What are they gonna end up weighing?
This weighs less than Fora already. I mean, with all the parts.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. That 4 is kind of heavy. The reason why is the 9mm crank in it and the bigger bearings got a bigger case. This width across my beam here is only 3/4 of an inch. And so on your GZs and your other hot half A's and the Foras and the Profis, you're looking at about 900 thou across the beam to get the bigger crank and bearing in there. They weigh more. There's more
Good
steel
gracious.
in them.
Good gracious.
Very good.
I can
That's
prove it.
awesome.
I can go grab one and throw it up on this here, but I don't want to work that.
I was looking at a one of those gold motors. I can't think of what it's called.
Huracan.
There you go. I was looking at one of those to put in a little half-A stunner like what Mike's got.
Yeah.
And I saw the price keep going up and up and up and up. I said, my God, I can buy PA 75 for that. So I let it go. But
Well, you can get a Russian motor, either the 4 or the Profi. It'll outrun that Shuriken now anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you get to run your new engine yet, Mel?
What?
Did you run the engine, the new one?
Maybe in a couple days. I'm still hand fitting parts. I haven't got one that I like yet. You know, what's that?
Are you using a Pico piston and liner in it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That thing's gonna scream.
I hope so. My other Pico, I'm doing 36 with it on 10%.
Yeah.
Messing with your
Is
offset.
Pico still making stuff or not?
That's super cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
Did you say you're doing
You're gonna have to
36,000?
sell me one of those.
Yeah, well, wait, hold on, Al. Me first.
I gave him the idea.
He did. Al gave me the idea. He really did.
So you're doing 36K on 10% nitro?
Yeah.
Will it handle like 25 or 35%?
When I put another gasket in, I've got several Picos that I run 40% on. They run 36. But to get a one to run 36 on 10%, you got to work your ass off. I mean, you got to work hard.
I'm sure.
That's a lot of effort to get it to
I'll
turn
be able to
36 on 10%.
I
On a
mean,
de-stroked one. I've taken
put
the
it-
stroke the other way on them and got it pretty easy, you know, where I've
Put
got the
spread
stroke.
the dog to bed.
Are they still making Picos or not? Is Pico still in business?
No, I think they quit 10, 15 years ago.
Okay.
You were able to pick them up for like $25, $30 when they were.
$35. But I
It
paid.
said on the box, $200
Yeah.
retail.
Wow.
Yeah, Hobby King was letting them all go.
I know that OPS was making engines here a couple years ago.
But Galbraith did them, you know, he had a lot of success with them. He did a different crankshaft than what I do. He had good success with them in control line speed and free flight. The RC, I don't even think he knew I was dealing with them running Picos and the pylons and half ARC.
So Mel.
Yay.
Okay, so I checked the bore and stroke on that Pico. And to me, I forget what it comes up, but it comes out legal for half A combat, but it's not legal for speed. You have to de-stroke it for speed.
You have to de-stroke it. Well, it isn't legal for half A combat either, because stock it's a .056.
No, that's oh yeah, 056.
Yeah,
No
to be legal, you got to be .0504 or
Yeah.
less.
Yeah.
And so to de-stroke it, you got to take 4 thou off the one side of the stroke. So it's about 8 thou. You end up with an 0503. That's what this is. barely legal for half A.
I know that magazine.
I measured, I mean, I just did it with the calipers. I measured it. I measured the bore and struck with the calipers, and I put it in that calculator, and it came out, I remember it coming out, I wrote it all down, but it was just legal for half A combat.
No, it's too big in the stock form for half A combat, but I don't think those boys care.
I mean, if it's not legal, it's like just on the hairy edge over then. But when I measured it, it came out legal.
You have to de-stroke it to make it legal for half A combat.
Well, but it's not like an 061, which, wink, wink, there's plenty of guys running 061s at the Nats and half A combat.
I know.
No.
I tell you.
Not me. I'm legal. I don't have a problem with anybody pulling my head and measuring my piston to see where I'm at. And I would like to have some guys have their heads pulled and measure them, because I know they're running 061s, man. You can tell the difference. You can hear it.
Yeah.
You can see it in how the plane flies.
Yeah.
Guys, let me interrupt. I want to end the live stream. We're not going to end the show. We're just going to end the live stream. And I want to thank everybody for coming in. Appreciate that immensely. And we had a good turnout in the chat box. And Jim Warnolt came in, which was great. I know he's been trying to get in for a while. So hats off for him for getting in here with persistence and not giving up. Hopefully next time he comes in, he'll have a microphone working and he can converse with us. But anyways, we end up with the height of the show. We had as many as, of course, we're going to get replays, but we had 30 live viewers and we have 22 likes. So go ahead and quickly hit the thumbs up for me. I'd appreciate that before I end the stream. And if you're watching this as a replay, please hit the thumbs up. And don't forget the super chat and the join button. But it's going to be late. Once I end the stream, you can join, but the super chat won't be available. So anyways, with that being said, thank you very much. We'll be back Monday. And hopefully you have a good weekend. Go out there and go flying or build a plane or do something model aviation worthy and come back and share it with us. With that being said, I'm going to wish everybody good night and have a good weekend. See ya. But we're not leaving. We're just saying goodbye as far as